Welcome to tonight's study session. Today, we will be looking at some short stack play, starting with our three bet series in the big blind, 20 big blinds deep. We'll be spending the next few weeks working through short stack play, particularly three betting. I did some database work this week and went through my database and found that when I'm in the big blind and I three bet, over 50% of the time, between 17 and 23 big blinds, my opponents fold. So I gotta find some more bluffs in here because it just works a lot. So without further ado, we're going to start off looking at some range construction ideas. So here, and we will look at what are we supposed to be three betting? And to what size are we supposed to be three betting? Because we have a mix of elements here. When the button raises, we have a couple of different ways to respond. There's a large portion of our range that responds with jams. So that's going to be jacks down through deuces, a little bit of non-all-in three betting from jacks and fives and fours. We're going to have some really bluffy stuff with some suited kings and a little bit of offsuit king. King, queen, ace jack, and ace nine off are all going to have some jams. It doesn't jam these hands because if we look at what our opponent is doing, our opponent on the button is going to be jamming these hands. So when they raise, they don't have these hands. They have worse aces and better aces. So these ones that are in the middle don't really want to jam for us because we're just going to fold out all of their worst stuff and they're going to call with only better stuff. So back to our look here. But what I really want to focus on today is the portion where we don't go all in. So we're going to look at how we play our kings, queens, aces, and ace king. We're going to have some ace queen, some ace jack, and some ace 10. So this is going to be the value range. This is where we're going to try and make sure that we get paid, right? Because if we just start shoving all of this stuff, our opponent just starts overfolding. And as we see from the analytics that we've done, our opponents are really overfolding in this range. We're going to have some suited connectors that play pretty well post flop. And then this part of the tree, some scary three bets, non all in bluffs. Ace 8, ace 7, ace 6, king 6, king 5, king 4, queen 4, jacks, and 10s. And when we take a look at the idea of range construction, kind of move up through the ranks, we see that at 25 big blinds, the combos that are still here are still pretty prevalent. And we go to 30 big blinds, we should still be finding these three bets again. Less jams now, more pure three bets, more three bets, more three bets. So this idea that we have and that we're looking at 20 big blinds is going to carry us all the way and connect us with our 40 big blind strategy that we've looked at in the previous weeks. As we go back down, 20 big blinds, when we look at 17 big blinds, we can see the idea is in here, but we are more and more jam heavy and we start to have less and less of these hands. So we have less and less of these bluffs, but we still need to pick bluffs from these combos. So they are pretty resilient from 17 big blinds all the way up to 40 big blinds. So we'll work in the 20 big blind spot today. And we will be looking at the three bets. You can see that there are two sizes that it chooses. based on some different hand strengths. So we're primarily going to be using 5 big blind raise, but there are going to be some spots where we will probably switch and choose the more frequent 7 big blind raise to combo. So let's get back to work here. And ace queen, we give it a raise, we get jammed on, and it is an easy call. Because there's going to be a little less pre-flop play, and we have a bit of a smaller group today, does anyone want to do, say, 3 or 4 hands and see how good they are?
Sure, I'll do 3 or 4 hands.
All right, we'll start off with Larry, and then we'll move on. Okay, Larry. So we saw the range, Jack 7. Wow, this is just going to be an easy one. I hope you're giving this one a fold.
Yes.
All right. Our opponent raises ace 7.
I think this falls. Yeah, I think this falls in the range of jam or call. I think we can do either. I think a call here.
Okay. So we're going to work mostly on the 3-bet side today. So you're saying that very high frequency call for you in game here?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to take you out of your comfort zone and make you pick a raise here. How often do you think that this is going to raise as part of your game? How often should you raise it?
I mean, I don't know if this falls into the raising range. I think this is a bluff jam or a call, frankly. But I know we're working on 3-bet pots, so I'm not following the schedule here. But yeah, so I guess you can
primarily a call, occasionally a jam, but slightly more a raise. So let's play it as a raise and see how we can get you in trouble here. All right. We've gotten ourselves here.
Now we have top there against an interesting flatting range. I would imagine they flat a lot to that size. I think we probably start with a small c-bet.
Okay, 2.9.
Yeah, 2.9.
Okay. So this is up a little bit.
Pot committed.
Okay, so on a flush draw board, it's probably wanting to get it in before the board texture changes. And I mean, you're never going to fold an ace here. But we can take a look at the entirety of range there and see why it's choosing that size.
Yeah, I guess if this stack has, if we have top pair, regardless of the action, we're committed.
Yeah, we are going to be pretty heavily in here. So we can see that our range is not really checking very much. And our range is primarily mixing the 2.9 and the 5.75 size. So all of our aces want to bet big. All of our queens want to bet small. All of our really big locked up equity hands, aces and queens, want to bet the smaller size. A6 a little more smaller size. All these 6s some smaller size. When we have spades, some smaller stuff. But nothing is really checking a lot here other than some queens that want to keep worse queens in, jacks that want to keep worse hands in. So, yep, we can continue on. So we get to the turn. You got 9 chips, there's 23 left.
It was folding, so.
Is it just a stuff, or do you bet small still?
I guess flush draws, so we go all in here.
Okay. Yeah, good job. All right, and we get called by a queen. Very nice. All right, King five. Frequently a call, but how often do you think we should raise this one, Larry?
So. Low frequency. I mean, we've got a
Okay.
blocker to a king, but that's the only quality we have.
Almost always a call, occasionally a 3-bet. As we play it with a spicy 3-bet, oh, look at this, super locked up equity.
Yeah, so we do have locked up equity and we have very low SPR, so I think we get to do some checks here.
Okay, so
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
check.
have some checks.
And even though it's a flush draw board, I think we're gonna get some checks.
Okay, so are you
Bet three.
so you're gonna have some checks here, Larry?
Yeah, I'd like to check here with this SPR.
Okay, very good choice. Checking a lot. Probably checking raise, looking at how frequently it's betting here. Look at this disrespectful bet size, 10%.
So this is what we want, obviously. So we have 2 more streets to get in. It's gonna be very easy, this SPR, so I think we can just call.
Okay. Not tempted to give it a click?
Maybe not at this SPR.
Okay.
Let's click.
It likes the click, just wants to nudge a few more chips in the pot. Right? So let's take a look at what is raising this King 5-3.
Hey, I'm a little late. Isn't it too big of a click?
Sorry, what was that, Saeed?
Isn't it too big of a click? It's like kind of almost for a click.
Well, I mean, you want to have a little bit of fold equity.
Mm, do we really King 5? I don't. I bet it. I mean, either way, I think I'm all in, no matter what, right?
Well, we're never folding it. I can
Yes,
imagine.
that's what I'm saying. So if you want to keep him in the pot, I would just increase it to 3 instead of 4.5, 4.6.
So
I mean, I don't know. I think so.
the bluffs that you're going to have, like Jack 4 and Queen 4, are going to want him to remember. We have to balance the hands, the times that we have King 5 to pair, with the times that we have Queen 4 and Jack 4.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right? We want to pick the size for our bluff that's also going to be the size for our value. And as you can see, we're here with all kinds of garbage that has missed this flop. So we are
He's
taking
betting 1 into 11, so like you can make it a little bigger than 3x.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So we have all kinds of value that's taking this size. And then all kinds of low-made hands. Ace high that's doing this, our missed flush draws that are doing this, right? Backdoor flush draw 1 card, so the single card of the suit is doing this. All right.
I think because of the SPR, it's kind of a 2 street instead of 3 street.
Okay. Larry, we get the flush completing on the turn.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're populated, so we can just shove.
Okay. Shove or half? You want shove?
Yeah, I think we shove.
Yeah, shove is primarily the answer. You can still have a little bit of half here. I mean, you're kind of committed to the line anyways. So, call, and king queen, and we just cooler our opponents. Throw your kings and 3s while we take our kings and 5s final. All right. Is there someone else who wants to give a few hands a go here?
You can go ahead, Peter. I'll do 1 or 2.
Sure. All right, Galen. Pocket kings, how are we going to extract value?
Let me catch up real quick. So button, big blind, 3 bets. Button calls, check. Bet 1. So
Look, this is pre-flop.
There's no
20
flop
big
there.
blinds. Button raises and we are defending the big blind.
oh, just defending the big blind, you're gonna be raising pocket kings, I think.
Would you like to go to 5 or 7?
I would go smaller sizing with a hand that strong.
A very good decision. You can size up a little bit here. We did some pre-flop ranging, taking a look at some of the elements of where we're finding bigger and smaller raises from. As we look through here, we have a few more people straggling in. So we can see mixing some of the 5 big blind sizing and some of the 7 big blind sizing, some of our best value. And then we're gonna have all kinds of junk that has to find some bluffs. Suited
Mhm.
connectors, offsuit, high-low combos, and our best value. All right, so we give these kings a little squeeze. And now we have to play post flop. What sizing do you want to use here, or do you want to check?
Hold on, switch to shared content. There it is. Why am I having a hard time seeing what you're showing? Fit to window. Yeah, I don't see anything but black screen, so I can't really speak to it.
Okay,
Give me a sec, I'll rejoin.
yeah, let us know if you get that. All right, so we'll just give it a little motion here and see that it definitely wants to bet. It's going to be pretty resilient of whatever our opponent's going to do. Rainbow turn. Probably going to barrel small. Yep. Just keep our opponent, just keep nudging their chips in a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And our last bit.
Alright, sorry. I just
No
needed
problem.
to open the app as opposed to the web browser.
So you can see our opponent just kept calling with a jack. All right,
Life
we'll
is
give
good.
Galen some hands here. Ace 8. So we've been focusing on non-all-in 3 bets here. How often are you non-all-in 3 betting ace 8?
So the offsuit aces, I'm doing quite a bit of jamming with here, maybe not quite this deep. Ace 8, I definitely think is gonna be doing some not all in at some frequency. I would be choosing the smaller sizing at the stacked up.
Mhm.
Not much though, in this one.
10% of the time. Right? These are all the slivers of bluffs that are going to get us there, but
Right.
flop pretty good.
Yeah, so second pair, top best kicker, king high dry. I mean, this has got some pretty good bet properties. I would probably be in game, this shallow, I would be doing like that 2.9 pretty frequently. You don't need to put too much gas on it, right? It's pretty dry.
2.9 very frequently. A little bit more gassed, also a bit of checking.
Mhm.
Have a spade. Getting over.
Hmm. So we're
No, I
kind
think
of shallow. I don't know if we're gonna just keep betting on the merit of the spade or not here. Um. Checking does feel kind of bad, though. I think I would check this in game and maybe look to bluff catch.
Okay.
I could definitely see some merit in small, though. Yeah,
Yep. Small's a thing, and checking is also a thing. Slightly higher EV. And face a
Oh.
20% bets.
Yeah, we're in the deep end now.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can't fold, so like, The question is like, are you short enough just to put your chips in? Or are you calling? And maybe folding? I could see merit in both of those. I would probably call in game.
Clearly a call. And there is a good chance that this will go check, check on the river. Ooh,
Donk jam.
stuff the turkey.
Spade comes in, the 8 completes, like. I feel like your bluffs are gonna wanna donk jam and this is gonna be a good balance for your value.
Our opponent's also gonna shut down here sometimes.
Yeah, it's an action killer, really. Like, if
Mhm.
he's got a king here, he's just not gonna be very happy. Yeah,
And he has a king. So we will check and make sure that, see what our kings are, our opponents are betting here. And see if they're just resilient to the second card pairing and the flush coming in with their kings. So when we check, our opponents are still stuffing it in 78% of the time.
yeah, they don't really care. Like, they're jamming a lot of king X. Although I question the reality of some of this.
Yeah, so nines check, eights and kings bets, and ace highs just keep bluffing.
Hmm.
How real is that?
King threes, king fours, I feel like are just gonna say, you know what? Let's check.
So three bet pot top pair, incredibly resilient, kind of no matter what the size is here. I think
Hmm.
it's kind of the takeaway.
Yeah, you
Right.
just can't really do much. Mhm.
Give you one more here. Ooh, easy one. Or is it?
Yeah, I would go the small size. I don't actually have a split size.
Mhm.
At 20 big blinds, so it's kind of interesting seeing the 7 option.
So both are very prominent in the strategy here. You can't make a mistake just putting some more chips in.
Easy peasy.
The game. Ace deuce. Oh, the noodle job. No good. 7 save us.
Lucky.
All right.
Another easy one.
This one.
Alright,
And
a
now
little
we
more
get
interesting on the flop. I wouldn't be surprised if like, does just jamming it in seem ridiculous here? Dry 10 high, we got the back door, we got overs. Just a question. I haven't looked at these ranges really, so I don't really know.
Oh, it's a
It's
great time to
probably
study it then.
not solver approved, but I don't hate it.
It's not going to be a negative EV spot, but maybe it's not going to be the optimal spot.
My only
Okay.
objection is that when we're called, we're dead.
Well, see, I don't even think you're really that dead. Like, if he has a 10, you're still 40%. As long as he doesn't have ace 10 or king 10.
Yeah, no. Fair enough. Oh, I'm just thinking like, does he call with 10? With like 15 into.
Oh, I mean, he should,
Yes.
he should.
He should, okay.
We'll take a look at that.
Okay, so like, if we're gonna go a little more solver approved here, this hand benefits from folds. So you are gonna wanna size up, so maybe something around 5, 7, 5. Or even 8, 6.
Okay.
I'm on the big side here.
Hey, let's give it a click. I don't know that we're going to have a lot of big bets on 10, 6, 5. But
Negative, you don't need to, just a bunch of small bets.
so let's take a moment and kind of comb through the reports and kind of see the general strategy here. We've got some stragglers moving it. Here. Oh yeah, we're the big blind. We want our side of the strategy. As I'm clicking all around like a crazy man. All right. So let's take a look through all of them quickly. Monotone, we're gonna see pretty easy, a lot of the red sizing. So 3 chip type of bets, a little bit of smaller stuff, a little bit of bigger stuff. Again, as we've seen in lots of other spots, driven by cards being placed together for your bigger sizings. So as you have more and more straight draws with flush draws, you're going to wind up sizing up. When we take a look at it as a flush draw board, in the 3-bet pot, we see much more of the 5.75 sizing. So that is definitely driving our strategy as we start to have high card boards. Tens, jacks, queens, kings, and aces. Again, when it's king low low with a flush draw, we choose the smaller sizing. Queen low low with a flush draw, we choose the smaller sizing, jacks, tens, we can see that. As we get 2 high cards, we tend to use the medium sizing or the bigger sizing. When we look at the rainbow boards, and the flush is no longer such a driving factor, we see the connectivity of the board remaining with it affecting our strategy. Again, we can see 10 low low, betting small, 10 with high cards, betting big. Same in the jacks, same in the queens, queen low low, queen high, kings. In these 3-bet pots, I'm surprised how often this king is checking. It is the most checked board. I wouldn't have thought so. Generally in 3-bet pots, kings are not checking. Aces with other
That is
broadways.
weird.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very strange to me. I would have thought that there wouldn't be very many checks for a king. But, we'll take a look at paired boards quickly. And very easy to see, connectivity leads to bigger sizing, but it is primarily a lot of 3-chip range betting in this 3-bet pot. All right, so we do the 3-chip range bets. We get us to the turn. A rainbow deuce. Can we ask for a more bricky brick?
That's it. That is the brickiest of brick cards.
All right, tough spot. You have 3-bet with
now?
such a good hand.
I think you just put your chips in. I think you just, I'm just all in.
I endorse the jam.
I just, nope. Well, look at there. What are we gonna do? Check folds? Ay caramba.
Check.
Check, check. I mean, sometimes
wanna
I
play
will
a
shut
river.
down and win. But we also do have the micro bet size. Both of them are pretty competitive. Let's take a look at what our whole strategy is doing here. So I guess we bet we have narrowed our opponent to value. Remember, our opponent is, if they have a 10, it's incredibly resilient to whatever bet size we have. So our range is splitting, 1/3 checking, mixing these 2 bet sizes and a few jams. Our jams come from 8-7 as a bluff, 10s, jacks, queens,
6x.
6x, the second pair.
Can we see their range after this?
Sure. What did they
Yeah.
call us with on the flop?
Do they still have queen jack and king jack?
They should, the back doors, I would think.
Not
Queen
offsuit.
jack?
Yeah, it's just the back door ones.
Yeah, they have queen 10, jack 10 here. So not queen jack off though, and king jack off. 3 with flush draws.
I guess my big question is, okay, so let's say we play check and we just get like a brick river and get piled on. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with ace king there.
Well, I'm glad we're studying it today because we're gonna find out.
It's gonna mix, huh?
Okay,
So we get a check and pretty bricky.
I mean, I think you just try to show it down at this point. Or you go 1.5 Okay. Oh, no, it wants
Yeah.
to, now
yeah,
it
so
wants to
three.
bluff. Now it wants to bluff.
Nah, it's a value jam.
Get called by a worse ace.
Yeah, maybe.
It could be,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know,
because if,
actually.
yeah, I'm sorry, I just joined, but yeah, if you think about like what hands does he not barrel? What does he check turn, when he goes check on a turn, what is he continuing to have here? Does he continue to have a lot of the 6x and 5x here? Or
Well,
is some of that betting?
let's take a look at his check range on the turn.
Because that really dictates
what
what
he's
we're
checking.
trying to, what
Well,
we're
he's
trying to get value
gonna,
from on a river.
he's gonna have a lot of overcards, paired overcards that had the back door on the turn. Or on the
So-
flop, sorry.
His checking range contains a lot of ace high. Some king high, some queen jack. So it's
Mhm.
got a lot of Broadway cards. It does have a lot of traps with queens, kings, and aces here.
Yeah, I'm not
His
worried about the
tens-
traps. Yeah, I'm just the word, I was thinking like, because it makes sense. He's jamming a lot of his 6x because that makes sense. Those hands want to generally get the money in before anything else happens. A lot of his tens bet.
Mhm. A lot of
So,
these draws are checking here too.
yeah, which makes sense.
Jack 8 checks, 8 9, 9 7, 7 8, 6 5, pocket fives, 5
Yep.
4.
Yeah, so it makes sense that we're basically betting ace king for value to get the
Okay.
worst ace high to call. I mean, that makes sense.
Galen is worried about this exact situation.
Yeah, like what do you do now?
What do you do?
I think you're supposed to call. I think you're supposed
Probably
to.
supposed to call.
Okay.
It's
So our
annoying
opponent
though.
has enough busted draws.
Yeah, I think this is a call. Cause yeah, he does this with, yeah,
Lots of busted draws that try and realize their equity and now have to go for a bluff.
and king
See,
high, queen high that got there.
or he's
quads.
just got quads.
That's quad. He busted trips.
Can't win them all.
Yeah,
See, I get kind of concerned on these type of nodes because I feel like, and I may be biased, but I feel like a lot of people play 20 big blind poker pretty poorly post flop. So when like you're ending in a spot on the river where you have a hand like ace, king bluff catching, which is obviously printing here, it's worth, 3.56. Like in game, this feels like one that might not be the true EV, like, how many,
Would you be more comfortable if they had jammed the turn?
yeah, I would be
Yeah.
more inclined.
I kind of agree with that. It's rare that you see the like delay bluff when they could have stuck it in on the turn. Like
It's
who's checking
interesting.
7-8 back? I don't
Yeah,
know
if we-
how common that is.
If we look at their range, they have 19% no made hand, and 31% ace high. They're stuffing it in here with.
So that's like half the range that we're beating.
Alright, so like, how about this? How many times somebody 4-bet jams ace queen or ace jack suited here pre-flop? In the
Oh,
game,
yeah, 20 bigs a lot.
a
Yeah.
lot, I would think. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
cuts down some of the value portion that we're harvesting that EV from.
That's
I
a
would
really
s-
point.
Yeah, and I think a lot of your aggressive players are just not gonna have. You're gonna have two types of players. You're gonna have the players that are gonna always want to jam like the 8-9, 8-7 type hands
Mm-hmm.
on the turn. Or you're gonna have the type of players who will just never find the bluffs on the river when it checks down. So
They're gonna show down the 8-9, right? Like they're gonna,
no, you will no, like maybe not
No,
not
it's a
on
good
live,
point, Jamie.
but live you will see that way more often than you think.
yeah,
For
they'll
sure,
they'll
for
say,
sure.
They'll say, missed my draw.
Exactly. I missed. They'll say I missed and then you turn over your ace king and they muck.
Yeah, but it's the way to think about the spot when you're playing live against certain player types that are gonna come to these spots with like. With nothing resembling this range construction.
Well, yeah, and honestly, it's not to detract from the practice here at all. It's just like. Maybe to think kind of critically about it. Like everything we're doing here is great. It's good. It's just, if you find yourself 20 big blinds bluff catching ace king suited on the river.
Buyer beware.
Yeah,
Conversely, though, like your point was, how many times are people showing up here with ace queen? How many
mhm.
times are people 4-bet jamming pocket jacks, pocket queens too?
It's the same thing, right? On the other end,
True.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, how does it balance out? I don't know. But,
So-
We see the weight,
mhm.
the true
Sure.
weight.
Yeah, this would be a fun spot if like I have ruse, so this would be a fun spot to start running these types of sims and ruse and seeing how
Wow.
they play out
Yes,
Look at all
yes.
the
for
ace ace.
nodes. Yeah,
So more aces, yeah, like when someone 3-bets you and you have aces and you have 20 big blinds, you don't want them to get out of the pot.
No, not at all. Like,
Right.
and that's very realistic right here. Them showing up with that weight of aces.
But queens and jacks, like there are a lot of players who are just, hey, 4-bet those, right? And
Mhm.
the same thing with the ace queen and ace jack, right? Players are just, I have these cards, they're pretty high, we're just gonna run equity.
Well,
so-
is there a little more than the bluff catch? Like if we jam river, does the opponent fold sixes? Or like he never got there with fours, but does he fold sixes or like 6-7 suited he got there with?
Let's take the
Yeah.
road not taken. They are calling with,
Well, they need to call with sixes and
Mm.
fives for obvious reasons, but
Well,
sevens
yeah,
and eights,
obviously.
sevens and eights are kind of interesting to look at.
7s and 8s are earning 8 chips against our jam here.
Yeah, a lot, actually.
King 6 earning 10 chips.
Okay, let me rephrase. Does he fold anything that we beat? Like-
Doesn't look like it,
No, it doesn't look like it.
but we get value from ace 9, which he calls with ace 8, ace jack.
Right. But then but that goes back to Galen's point though, like,
Which they
Is-
may fold
yeah, ace queen, ace jack is
or jam pre.
4-bet pre, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I know this is a cool one.
Yeah, he does have to, he even calls us with some king high. King
Right.
9 and king 8. Right, like that's a pretty deep call.
Yep, no, it definitely is. And then you have the other question of like, okay, like king 5 is just printing here. But like, versus 3-bet, how many of you are defending king 5 on the button? King 5 suited, 20 big blinds. I mean, I'm gonna look at the guy's 3-bet percentage and say, typically.
That was the start. When I took a look at the database, I found
Mhm.
out between 17 and 23 big blinds, people fold over 50% of the time against the 3-bets.
Yeah, I think
Right?
that's, sounds pretty good. Mhm.
So, I mean, you're just earning a lot of chips here. And
Yep.
you can find, when you can occasionally find some bluffs mix into your range.
Even more so from the big blind, right?
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna drill today, and look at this. All right, who wants to be brave and 3-bet queen 3? Anyone else want to have a?
man.
yeah, it
Yeah.
probably does. Like the high lows probably do a little bit. So yeah,
Galen, I
Okay.
4-bet jammed king 3 suited button versus blind, big blind today.
It's good, it's good.
It's,
Like,
it's not a thing, but it worked.
I like it. I think it's good.
Alright.
Alright, so queen 3 is in there.
Okay, Danny, give us some
Ooh.
instruction here.
Um,
Rainbow, very
Interesting.
connected.
well, obviously this board is terrible for our hand. In terms of our range. Probably at best neutral seems kind of on the bad side as well.
Mm,
Kinda just wanna surrender here. We don't really have any backdoor anything. We could hit a queen. That might be
Okay.
good. I think I'm just check folding.
We're the 3-better though, I mean. We've
I
got
know,
pocket
but
aces, pocket kings. Alright,
yeah,
Yeah, I-
those are gonna check too. They're gonna check to trap, like. It's just a check
I
board.
don't know on 9-7-6 if we do much of that just because of how connected that board is.
I think like this is going to be a good bet to target auto fold, so like some. Maybe like a 2.9 one and done kinda here. You can't go too small because of the connectivity. He is gonna have some of this, right?
uh-huh. So maybe
But-
some check and some
Yeah,
five,
yeah,
seven,
there's
five.
plenty of 9x and
Won't he
8x in
just
the big
like
blinds range.
defend king ten and stuff to 2.9 anyway?
King ten, yeah, but,
But not
And
ace
ace
twos,
high
ace three, ace four.
and.
he's
yeah,
he's got some high-low, some polar aces. He's
He's
got,
gonna have some king high. If we can fold any king highs or better queen highs, it's worth betting. Probably
Okay.
2.9.
Danny wanted to check, so we're gonna go with the check note here. Which is part of the strategy, but we can see that it is sizing up with a lot of 5-7-5 looking to generate fold equity. When
mhm,
we think of the range that we have here, this is gonna be one of our worst hands. So it's gonna
Yep.
pick the value that wants to size up here a lot. So a vulnerable hand like pocket queens probably is gonna mimic this queen three.
yeah. It's just
Do
reciprocating
do
some
we
of the
have
other
any
parts
give
of the
ups?
range.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, we can check, some sixes and sevens probably, but.
Mhm.
Besides that,
So
So
queen,
Would
dude.
sevens even want to check here? Wouldn't our sixes and sevens be more inclined to want to bet because of the best hand, but vulnerable against a lot of stuff?
So we're not doing a ton of checking, only 8% of our range is checking.
Yeah,
We're protecting that
9-7.
checking range with 97.
hmm,
We have a
That's
bit of
okay.
ace king. Queen six. King four, king three that can maybe turn some straight draw equity. But yeah, again, queens and jacks wanting to use that bigger size. So our bluffs with queens and jacks use that bigger size more prominently, right? The aces are more resilient, so our aces use the smaller size when they bet here. But
Could you
again,
go range height for a second?
sure,
Sorry.
no problem.
Uh, finish your thought if you remember it.
Yeah.
And then I'll chime in.
Oh, on range height? Okay. So yeah, so we have some hands that want to go for this type of value, jacks, queens, kings. And they feature a lot of bets on this size in this part of the strategy. We also have some small bets here that are looking for some smaller value that are a little more looking for the auto folds. Right? So that's more of this jack five. Right? The five really looks like it wants to bet small. The eight wants to bet small when we have an eight here. What's your thought here, Danny?
Yeah, that all makes sense. Now that I see the range, so I kind of missed the beginning. So now that I see this, we don't really have any whiffs here except for like the ace, king, ace, jack. But
Mhm.
all our offsuit bluff stuff pretty much interacts with this in some way. So
Mhm.
I guess betting queen three, since we hit this board so hard, like way harder than I realized. And that is like one of our, pretty much our worst hands. Makes sense.
Yeah.
We're just betting like everything.
Yeah, and when we look at that range construction, right, we're three betting these suited connectors a little bit. We are three betting some of these really strong pairs and strong broadways. And then at very low frequency, pieces of all of this trash. And so when I did my database work, I found that I had lots of three bets from this section up here, which was fine. I had a few three bet bluffs with these aces and a couple kings, but I just was never three bet bluffing these combos here. And in a spot where players are just going to overfold against our three bets and the non all in size, I want to find ways to build more of this into my game. So here we are.
Nice.
As you did, you wanted the check line. We get the disrespectful bet size. Can we fold queen three?
Probably. I mean, like, our range probably wants to raise quite a bit facing this size and given how hard we hit it.
Yep.
But this hand is so bad.
All right.
We
No
could
problem.
try
We'll
it.
we'll give it up. Oh, and give you another chime. All right, A7. Low
Sure.
frequency raise, occasional jam. So
A7's one of my favorites. I like this one.
All right, 10-3-3, paired board, disconnected, rainbow. What are you thinking?
Yeah. The paired three, I think the lower the pair is, the better it is for the aggressor typically. He could have some like ace three suited, but maybe that four bet jams. King three suited potentially. Pocket threes, I think probably four bet jams. So that's like kind of a nothing burger. And then the 10. Probably better for him, but we still have like all the over pairs that he won't have. And better ace highs, so I like betting small.
3 chips,
Yep,
3 chips, and some 5.5 chips too. Right, both are very competitive options here. Our opponent calls, and we get another 3. Ooh,
Alright, I mean, are we gonna bluff out better ace high? Maybe. Can we get value from anything? Not really.
Okay.
So probably just check.
Mm-mm, I don't like it.
little 1.75, right? If we had pocket kings, how big do we want to bet on this?
I think I go 4-3 again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
the
think,
bluff.
I don't think this is a board we ever go with it like that small, or if we do, it's very rare.
Do we need a bluff ace high?
We
You
may not
have-
have to because we have some other worse hands like queen highs and jack highs still a little bit here.
You might also have equity realization issues though, like you play check and then like, what do you do on a blank on the river? Like you're playing pretty face up. So it's like check, check, and then he just piles. What do you do?
And your calls are chopping a lot, so you have to kind of cut your odds in half a little bit.
They will. I
Well, let's
like
take a look.
this. I
Okay.
like betting small again because we have the full house advantage here. We have the best pairs, aces, kings, queens. You're blocking aces, so
And now we're folding out the chops.
Yep.
He's probably calling with ace jack, but he's probably folding ace eight, ace nine, ace six.
So for all of those reasons, I kind of like the 1.75 size. Our value is going to want to just nudge a few more chips in the pot, make it easier for him to call on the river.
maybe so. If it was
I
like
like it too.
ace,
I've been
But-
convinced.
Danny had the strategy with the check here,
yep, he did.
but when you bet, it is just nudging chips in very carefully, very slowly, right? On a board where we have the full house advantage and that we have more frequencies of aces, kings, queens, and jacks, because our opponent still does have them as well.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We don't necessarily have the,
We don't really have
Pair-
the boated, well, do we have it in terms of our whole range at that point?
I misspoke. Yeah, we don't have the pair advantage really, cuz he calls the best pairs.
47, it's probably pretty neutral because he's gonna have a lot of middle pairs that have our boats now. We'll have the
Yeah.
best pairs.
At the top,
The-
it's very equal, but
Mhm.
this portion of the range wants to get paid just a little bit. And it's when we have slightly better pairs, as you can see. right? When we have kings and he has nines. Right? And when we have queens and he has sevens. And that's this whole part of the graph that just wants to get paid and nudge in 2 more chips.
Cause he won't always trap, right? Like, and
Yeah.
we still have the overpairs full frequency.
But check is also very fine here.
Oh,
Okay.
Kamazed.
Easy street. This hand's too easy.
Danny, what do you want to
yeah,
do?
is there ever a move besides jamming? Surely six could be a thing, honestly. I could see that being a thing. He still does have like some traps and I don't know if. Like if we wanna get paid by ace, queen, ace, jack, will they call a jam? Maybe.
I agree
I'll probably
with
call
6.
six.
I wonder if we go small. Like,
What-
I wonder if we should have some hands here that go small on a board like this. Do our
We
7,
could go small too.
Is there no
because
check to induce?
Could be that
So,
too.
We
There
could
could be
Yeah.
kind of
everything,
face up
honestly.
on the turn. If we check the turn, like, I think it was mentioned, we're kind of face up, which I agree with. And now that we've kind of realized, like, if we jam, he's just folding. Well, he might call us with some ace highs, but like, he'll bet a lot of ace highs here. But he'll fold a lot of the junk, but he might bet some
I
junk.
don't think he'll really bet ace high. I think we need to bet.
I think it's a bet check bet line, so I don't think you're gonna be like relying on him to bet. Cause it's gonna go check, check too frequently.
What
We'll
size do you
take a
like?
look at
Galen?
all options.
I'm kinda torn, to be honest, like, he shouldn't have a ton of 10x, but he does have these big traps, so. Like, what are you getting called by if you put 12 in?
Yeah, kinda like six.
I kinda like 6.
This feels like a Doug Polk video. It's like, it's all correct.
6 and call it off.
I,
It does feel
Yeah,
good.
6 okay.
Six and he never
Yeah.
jams, please, he never
yeah,
jams.
I like
Oh,
the
look
small.
at that.
It checks in
Yeah.
small bets. I,
Wow,
Actually,
there's
just checks. Yeah, it checks a lot, actually.
So
Why
Alright,
do you
well,
wanna
jam was
check?
the worst option.
there we go.
To capture
Okay,
value from
that's
bluffs,
nap.
I guess.
It's a pretty thin capture though. I
Yeah,
guess there's a lot of 10 in range.
yes,
Yeah.
a 10.
And we got us.
So
Nice
let's take a look
check.
at some of those river spots.
yeah, I would assume when you bet really small, you could get some more ace highs and king highs to call. I think maybe that's why you
So-
do it.
When we check, what is our opponent betting?
Yeah, but I want that thick value, Jamie.
Yeah, I
Half of
hear,
range.
yeah,
I'm greedy.
So our opponent is betting full houses for 43% of their range, king high for 21% of their range, and worse than king high for 9% of their range. A little bit of ace high they bet, but not a lot. And no made hand. So
See,
yeah,
this range feels way more based in reality. Like, I could see this playing out.
yeah, they have a 10, they make a full house, they just check the turn, let us bluff the river, and
Yeah,
they just
yeah, I mean, like. A lot of their other pairs already bet the turn, right? So when we're betting the 7, we're really just trying to get ace high. If you think about it, we're really just trying to get like ace high to call because there's really nothing left that we beat. Cause
But in-
6s,
in
5s, 4s
reality-
are probably, yeah.
On this river node, I feel like our opponents are way too capped. Who's really checking back king ten here on the turn?
Ooh,
you should be.
Who's-
You
well,
should be praying for a
Sure,
spade.
but that. I think people feel like their ten is too vulnerable to check back, or I don't know, maybe it's just me, but.
I get
That's
out
the
of my
rounders
chair.
line.
I get out of my chair and I dance around praying for a spade on the river. Come on, spade.
But it's always a queen and then like you're miserable.
No, they get there sometimes, but they don't have that many queens.
That was the rounders line, was bet, check, bet with 9s full of aces. Of course, Teddy KGB had aces full, unfortunately, but
I kinda share your sentiment though, Danny, to be honest. I'm kinda like, I'm just waiting for like the ace or the king to hit the river. Or the queen or the king.
We're finding our opponent doing some jamming. Makes life easy. Alright, jacks. We do not want to go all in.
If
Some
I was
portion
gonna
of the time.
say. I would say if there was gonna be a hand that fits into the 7 size, I feel like this is it.
Seven
Jam it.
and 4 occasionally, mostly jamming.
Mostly jam.
When we
Oh.
play it as a raise, not
In
all in.
ICM, that's okay though,
Hmm.
to go five,
Oh, yeah.
6. In ICM, I would go 6 or 6.5, I think.
Sure, and that's why 5 and 7 are both there.
So what do we do here? 3.9, call it off?
Ooh,
Looks
remember,
like it.
We go 7?
king low low was one of the
Never
most
did.
checked boards.
Hmm, maybe.
Alright, let's check.
King low low. 3-bet pot and king is one. This is the inverse of everything else that I've ever studied on 3-bets. King is the check here.
Yeah, the button just has a ton of kings. That's why.
Put it in.
No. I mean, yeah, no. We
I'm
might,
not checking in the game here anymore.
we
Same.
might bet now. We might bet now.
I
Is
am
this
not
worth a small
checking.
bet? Yeah, I wouldn't check here, but it's just
I think
between, do we bet
4 is
really
good.
small or do we bet kind of small? I don't think we go anything bigger than quarter, but
I wanna go
Just for the-
4 or I wanna check.
Heard some different things. 4 and checking are both very fine here.
Basically everything but putting it in.
Basically, yeah.
Check.
Oh,
Oh.
gross.
Ah.
That's why I don't wanna check it.
Okay, clearly gonna be a check now.
Good game.
Our
There we go.
checks back
Ah.
ace-5 all the way.
But he would have called on the flop, but on the turn, he probably won't.
Are you kidding with that gut
He-
shot and
He'll
an
probably still
over?
call
He'd
turn.
probably gonna
Yeah.
raise us.
What happens if we put 4 in? What's he do
Okay,
with ace 5?
let's take a peek.
Yeah,
Check flop, 4
he's
on
not
the turn.
folding. Yeah, he's not folding.
Gutter and
He
ace.
doesn't have great odds, like, we
Well,
don't
he's
have much
winning some.
behind.
Okay, so when
That's
we
true.
bet 4 on the turn,
Yeah, he is winning sometimes, huh?
Yeah, he's calling.
not folding ace-5. He does fold a bunch of other aces, but not the wheel one. So
Yeah.
this was a good turn bet for us to try and get that 20% of hands that have that suck out equity against us, but it was
I
gonna
wonder
be
if-
a rough river.
yeah, I wonder if you double barrel that, does he fold the ace-5 on the turn? Like if you would bet small,
Yeah, but it's small and then bet. Yeah, can
bet
we?
small flop and then you bet like medium on the turn.
That's small on the flop. And he calls with the ace-5. Sometimes he raises. What was it? The
10
two
of
suited
club.
Ton of clubs.
clubs?
He may still call, actually. I think it's probably
I
pretty
don't think
close
that he's gonna
with a
call.
gut shot.
Then we bet 4-6-5. And his
He's still
ace-5 is still
gonna
hanging in there.
God, this guy, and then he just gets his ace.
Oh my god, so
Then he
sticky.
just goes there.
I
But
know,
he
these
didn't-
guys are so sticky.
But he did not bet his ace on the river, so it didn't really cost us anything else. We're still in the tournament with 13 bigs.
Why doesn't he put it in on the river?
I guess we have better aces that we check.
Yeah, we 3-bet, right? So we can have ace.
Wait,
seven.
was it still the case in the bet 1, bet 4 check line? Was he still not putting it in? I guess it's a little late now.
He was
Too
still
late.
not going
Huh?
like on the river.
In the fictional line.
Yeah, in the bet 1, bet 4 line, I'm pretty sure that would just, an ace would just shove.
I would think so.
I can't imagine it wouldn't.
But then I would fold, so it's okay.
For him, the line that we took, he does, but mostly checks it. Checks back his worst ace, 5 and ace-6.
And can you go big
This-
blind bet 1 on the flop? And bet 4 on the turn.
We bet 1. Or sorry, we bet 1 here. Calls. Turn 10 of clubs. And we bet 4. Calls. And the river was, what was the river?
Ace
Ace
of,
Ace of
Hearts.
diamonds.
Ace of hearts.
it's a heart.
It was
yeah.
ace of hearts
Yeah.
because he had ace 5 of diamonds. So
Yeah,
it's ace of
yeah.
hearts. So it's just an offsuit. ace.
Ace of something, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, we
If
still
you
rip it half the
check,
time.
Check or
if
put
you
it-
check,
Yeah, but at this point, you see, we start to like just rip the jack here.
Alright, let's say
But
we
it-
check.
Yeah,
Calculating card removal.
he's gonna check ace 5.
can't
He's ripping
imagine. There's 7 bigs at this point.
He'll even
Very
rip some
small.
kings. King, queen.
Looks like it,
He
causing
doesn't
to
wanna-
go-
Yeah.
There he goes. Yeah,
Oh
now
no,
he
we
rips.
broke it.
Oh, now he's shoving.
Now he's shoving all his kings as well. When we bet that check, he just shoves all aces and all kings.
There we go. I was lagging. Yeah. This looks right.
Yeah, it would be interesting if you if this was ever run in like an ICM spot. How much that would change, but
Mhm.
because risk premiums would like probably change that dynamic a lot.
How often are you guys 3-betting this?
Reality never, but probably in theory, like. should, like,
5%.
Is this a good
Yeah.
one? I never know which king you wanna use. If it's the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's always one of them.
7.5%.
Yeah, I think all of the king and queens, you can do the, like the high-low, like.
I think
think
it's
it's just
like,
like- The very low. The kings are a little bit higher, like king 3, king 4, king 5, but I think even like. It's like jack 4 often worse, queen 4 often worse.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I usually never bother with the jacks. Like, if I do this, it's always like king 6, king 5 off, king
Yeah.
4 off, queen 5 off, queen 4 off.
But
And then
if
I
you
just
think of
don't
it-
worry about everything else.
If you think of it as like 8, 7, 6 with your offsuit aces, it's gonna be like this kings and queens, and your jacks are needing a little bit better. Right, so you kind of got this boomerang that goes down here. We've seen these type of shapes a little bit that go along this line, right? And remember, our suited boomerang is very prevalent in lots of different parts of our strategy. Bluffs. King 3.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, it seems to have a
A
You're
little
breaking
bit
up.
of a problem.
Pete, you're breaking up pretty bad.
I thought that
Yeah.
was on my end.
No, I think
Yeah, same.
we lost his.
Okay.
Peter.
Yeah.
Is the video lagging for y'all too then?
how about that, guys? Is that any better?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yes, so far. It's better so far.
No, I think,
Now it's
Yes.
on.
yeah, he has problem.
But we all have problems.
We all have problems.
99 problems.
What do you guys
Oh,
wanna do here?
Okay, we can continue without his voice.
You guys breaking up a little bit.
Hmm,
So 3-bet pot.
Mono. 10 high, sorta connected.
I wonder if this is just a range small bet.
Small like 2 or small like 1?
I think small like
Exactly.
2, small like 1. I wonder if we go with 1 a lot here.
Small
Oh.
like 3.
It is small like 3. 'Cause I know there were some monotone boards where you bet like super small, but
It's
maybe
just a
this
range
isn't one
bet
of them.
board.
Yeah.
So all three of these throughout the strategy, wanting to size up with some kings, queens, jacks, some ace, spade. Top card pairs. Is that good for us or bad for us?
I would think it's bad for us.
For the range, I think it's good, but for our specific hand, it's bad.
I think the problem is Button's defend range has a lot of 10s in it that don't
So
necessarily.
do we want to double barrel? Do check and check.
Well, we have nothing, but it's not the greatest card.
I think this is a give up. We need a spade to continue.
We don't have the spade,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. Mainly check, but some bet 4, cuz we're psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You wanna bluff, sure. If you wanna be like, okay, I give up.
That's a lot of bet 4, actually.
Yeah. Because I think it's good for our range.
We're super psycho.
Yeah, the problem is I think the top of,
If you have kings and jacks and queens, we bet
yeah,
that.
the problem is I think top of
Yeah,
range, we're
here.
just kind of just smoked here.
Yeah.
But the 10 diminishes the value of all our overpairs, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
such low SPR still, but doesn't feel great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's just the nature of the button just having a ton of 10x and we just
We have
just
also
can't
has
really
a lot
defend
of-
against it.
Any spade hand too.
Yeah,
Is he defending offsuit tens versus a 3-bet?
I believe so, yeah. Maybe
I
not
don't
in full
know.
frequency, but maybe
Ace
some.
10?
Yeah, can we
Ace
look
10
at there?
probably. Ace 10,
Ace
king 10,
10
queen 10. I mean, I'm
Ace
sure
10
there's a,
jams.
Let's see
Ace 10
the
off
button.
jams. There's no
I
way
feel
it
like king
calls.
10, queen 10 fold.
Let's try to show the, oh, here it is. The,
So
To
he's
the
got some
3-bet?
tens here.
To the-
yeah, he has a
Yeah.
lot of tens.
That's when aces are 3-bet here. So he has some tens.
yeah.
Ace
Okay.
king 10 off, full queen 10 some, jack 10 some, and then suited tens.
Suited, yeah.
I'm
Check,
surprised his
check.
pairs aren't jamming more. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's because our range is so strong.
Oh,
Oh,
Shoot, all in? No way.
Well, yeah, when you, did we barrel turn?
nope,
No.
went check, check.
No,
Oh,
what is our value here then? Just the 10s that we trap plus our overpairs?
plus over pairs, yeah.
And our flushes?
Flushes
Our
too.
flushes. Yeah, how many
Flush.
flushes do we really have though? Like
Got a few
maybe
of
like
the not
maybe
flushes, right?
ace king of spades, ace jack of spades.
That's all.
And nine is-
It's not much.
Although we can't even have 10-9 of spades, like
So
9-8
it's
of
not-
spades.
So it's, the flush isn't a big part of our component. It's the set and
Big pair.
over pairs.
Yeah,
It's pushing when we have a 10, like when we have trips and we pairs is our value. And occasionally
Right.
a 4.
Are aces betting more with or without the spade? Like pocket aces.
Our aces. Our aces are not doing a lot of betting. Our aces want to show down. It's our kings that want to bet.
Okay,
And I would assume pocket aces would be more likely to bet with a spade and check without. Just because in general, big blind out of position, you push equity.
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking as well.
And he has kings.
Is that it?
No, that
That's
being
it.
said, just going back, Peter, like, I wonder if you just comment on
You
my.
guys hear?
Really badly.
Yeah, really bad, Pete. I was just gonna ask you, Pete, on, well, and the group actually. This feels a bit, the last hand feels a bit like the 10-6-5 deuce 5 hand, a little bit. I know the texture is way different in the board pair on the turn, but could part of it be too that like our jam on the river doesn't have to work that much? Like, obviously we're getting looked up with, you know, three of a kinds and over pairs in this case, but otherwise, like, it doesn't have to work that much to be profitable. So it's 12 for 17. So is that part of it too? Like, it's there's a pot up for grabs and we're just the first one going after it. Does any of that make sense, or can anyone hear me?
Oh,
We hear
yeah,
ya.
yeah, I think everyone. I didn't get your point exactly. If you,
Yeah, no, I think your point makes a lot of sense. And it's because when we get to the river, we're gonna have hands that have some showdown value, like ace highs may still have a little bit of showdown value here. So now we need to just, it's more about finding hands that just finding the bluffs that balance out our value. And that's gonna be the stuff in the bottom, in that bottom corner, basically. I think that's probably as simple as you can make it.
Okay. Perfect.
Hey
Thank you.
guys, how about that? Am I back now?
You're back now, Pete.
So far.
All right. Hallelujah. Okay,
it's
so
a bit better.
back to this thing. So we switched up our internet connection here and we seem to be okay. All right, so back to you splashing around with a7.
Alright,
Queen 8-5, disconnected, rainbow. Oh, let's change the numbers here.
oh, look at that.
It's just giving us a percentage. It's not giving us how many chips to bet. I wonder if that's a setting option.
Yeah, it is. I think it's in your top right. It's in the one in the top right hand corner where up by upload. I think that's where you get to make
A different menu.
the different gear icon.
I think if
It
you
look-
click the very top right, Peter,
The gear.
right, yeah,
Yeah,
click that gear icon up there. It brings up this and, it's somewhere in here.
Appearance.
It's an appearance.
Is it other?
Text. No, so
Or text and
trainer,
background. Is
Yeah,
it text and background?
trainer. It's one of
Hmm,
these, maybe it's another.
Doesn't look like here.
I was playing with these settings the other day. It's definitely here somewhere. There, okay, this is it. You see on the far right where it says. You need to see big blind plus pot percentage at the top,
Yep.
display bet as.
Okay.
So now that
There we
should
go.
be working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo.
Man, I don't know what's with all the technical troubles today, guys.
Yeah, I had some
Here we
too. I
go.
had to.
Alright, so we get this queen, 7, 8. Now, how many chips we're betting, not just how much this is. That's much better. Alright, is everyone on board betting 3 chips here?
I think 3 is a good number. Like,
Yeah, I think we would have a few fives, but they would probably be your aces and kings more than anything else.
ooh, if there was a.
Lame.
So like. You don't have a lot of 6, 7. If any, but. We do block his 6, 7, so is that enough reason to bet again?
Micro barrel, picking up equity from out of position.
Yeah, and it ran out rainbow too.
Yeah, I don't, I don't,
Enough.
I think this board, I think this board's dynamic enough that we don't get to bet that small.
Yeah, I would lean 4.3 myself,
Yeah, same.
Okay.
but
The-
it,
The micro
Yeah.
barrel doesn't make sense on this card, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would think that our range primarily here are the checks or bets. Like a, like a quarter.
Let's take. So on the 4 of clubs specifically, you can now get some folds from all of the stuff that floated with some back doors that were a little light. So 29% here, 6% here, 4% here, a lot of checking. So really the strategy is 4 or check. And some hands that want to get it all in. 8, 7, 9, 8, Jack 10, Jack 10, 9. And ace 8 and ace 7. Are these all bluffs? What's the value here?
Of, solvers really like the idea of like the AC. Ace, 8, 7. Solvers really like, 8, 7 makes a lot of sense because solvers love pair plus draw hands. Ace 8, it's probably just. We probably still have likely the best hand. The board's a little bit more dynamic. We just want to run our equity.
Ace 8
Yeah,
is the
that's-
nuts.
Ace 8 is the nuts. Opponent doesn't have any queens?
I mean,
Yeah,
they'll
and
have
again, and also,
some,
and
but
also it's
so be it.
relevant. It's also relevant, like,
Original mate
what
has
do
it
we
all.
not have here? What do we not have here that's kind of relevant or have very little of? We don't have any queens here. Like we just have very small slivers of queen 6, queen 3, queen 2. So really, ace 8s, other than aces and kings, is like literally are like next best hand.
Jam it, cause it's the nuts.
So we'll go with the barrel. We have double barreled, gotten to the river. Are we completing the punt?
Oh, man.
Or are we giving up with ace high?
Um,
Poker
trying to
stuff.
think of a hand that we can make fold now.
I wonder if I wonder if we just jam because we have the 7, we block 7-6. I mean, I wonder if it's just as simple as that. Seems very.
But tell me a hand, Jamie, what can they fold?
What could they fold that we beat? They could fold. Would they fold ace 9,
Nines?
ace 10? Would they fold 6s or 7s? It kind of sucks though in the 7 because that's kind of one of the hands that might fold here.
I think they already folded ace 9 and ace 10.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
They folded
Maybe-
ace 9 and ace 10 to our double barrel, then maybe this is just a give up.
Yeah.
Ooh. A little bit of
Well.
snuffleupagus, a little bit of give up.
Maybe they'll fold at something that we couldn't think of.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
chip fives.
maybe I just don't like a seven just because of. Maybe it's also a hand that, I don't know.
Like you want him to have sevens, maybe?
Yeah, exactly, right? I wanted to have sevens or sixes, so maybe a seven, a six aren't really good bluffs.
King mid with a flush draw.
We could bluff 9-10 or something.
Yeah,
With the queen of spades.
Ooh,
2 or 5?
how did I get here?
We three bet this. We are wild.
Um, I don't know, is going 5 ridiculous? With the spade?
I don't think it is. I think I'd rather go five than anything else, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's,
it's like none of it feels right.
so king low is the checks, king mid, sizing up. Well, there's only one thing to do, I think.
Stuff the turkey.
Of the turkey. It's a bet pot. We have all the best kings. We have a draw that benefits from the fold equity here. Just
There's any,
I made a 3. Any good?
no good.
No good. Oh,
we're getting.
Oh.
We're getting
Oh.
showed aces and kings quite a bit in this like simulation.
ooh,
Look at that 4-bet bluff.
he got us off the chop. Unless,
Escape there. We escape here. We
Oh, I
haven't
wanted
seen a
to-
lot of spots where we've 3-bet and he's folded. Okay, so about 10% raising here, but Jack 9 suited. And he just stuffs
oh,
the face. Oh my,
oh,
Oh,
I didn't
There's-
expect that. Wow, okay, we gotta take a look at this.
cool. Well, that makes me feel less bad about 3-betting if we're gonna call it off anyway.
Welcome, Brent. Hang out. Enjoy
Yeah.
the sim.
I've just been, I'm just so new to this. I just signed up for a premium membership and so I'm also very new to the GTO strategy stuff. So I just kind of want to listen to you guys and like learn this application. So
No problem. Welcome and enjoy the content that we. Hopefully, it helps your game get better.
yeah, I don't want to interrupt you guys' line of thinking because you guys are on a roll here. So
No problem. No problem.
yeah.
Always happy to stop and take a moment to acknowledge people who are joining in for the first time. So in this spot, all our pairs and all our suited stuff defends. It's just going to have good enough equity against what are they putting it in with?
it's the ace six, it's the offsuit ace X that allows us to do this. I would think it's ace five, it's the bad ace X. That's the only thing I could think of. Because it's 15 to into a pot that's gonna be like 40.
Yeah.
40-ish.
41. yeah.
Yes.
We only need to realize so much equity.
Like 38% equity and Jack nine's probably gonna release 30. I would say though, that if you don't think your opponent's fighting those offsuit ace X bluffs, I would think Jack nine probably, then some of this middling suited stuff probably leans towards fold. I'd probably just stick more with like king high and ace high type hands.
It also might be because we've invested 5 chips in our hand. Like
Yeah.
it's 15 to win 40.
Yeah, it's 30, you need about 38-ish, 37-ish% equity.
Yeah.
And you're usually gonna have 37% equity against
We're
most
gonna have
aces.
2 live cards a lot.
So
Yeah.
Jamie, let's say we're playing an opponent where we would have to raise fold here. That's kind of an argument to just call it, right?
If you, well, yeah, if your
no?
opponent's, yeah, I would agree with that, because if you think your opponent's, you have to think about like, what is your opponent's reaction going to be to the 3-bet, and if it's gonna be a very linear range, I think you want your range to be a little more linear in response, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Oh, it just keeps stuffing on us here. Stuffing, stuffing, stuffing. Alright,
I would put the I wanna call emoji and then fold that.
Are we gonna get to play, oops,
here we go.
Here we go. Play
Mid, mid,
that,
low. Flush draw.
the sneaky top pair.
Yeah.
What do we want to do?
I would not be shocked if this shoves. If, or shoves at least a little bit. With the ace of hearts,
Kinda makes sense, yeah.
ace of hearts, sometimes we don't have a spade, hand's kind of vulnerable. I would not be shocked if this just, we just want to get it in now. Top pairs usually want to. But I can see a small bet too being fine.
If you want to do that, do you want to have some check raises then?
I
As
don't
the
think we
most
have, I don't
efficient
think,
way to
I
get
don't
it.
think we have any check raises on this board. I would,
We could also bet 5, right?
uh,
Sure.
I kind of feel like this is gonna be a spot where you're gonna see a lot of different types of bets. I wouldn't,
Mhm.
but this is the type of hand I would just be shoving, just to like clean up my equity now. I really don't want to see any other cards.
Alright, show us the rainbow.
I think I can get behind Danny's 5.75 here.
Yeah.
But because of that too, I also think it's gonna have some checks that want to check raise.
Yeah.
Nope, it is shoving or a bit of Danny. Bit of the 3/4 pot bet as well.
Yeah.
And just never checking here. But just one big bet. Good thing is we took the small size. Well, we're just never folding here. And we're cooler than pocket ten.
Ah. Nice hand.
Nice hand.
He's
Queen.
killing us tonight. Aces, kings, tens, damn.
We
Maybe
keep
he'll
sliding,
fold
but
here.
we start- Oh. All
Just
right,
keep
nope,
running into it.
no folding.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right. Ace
In game,
mid
they
mid.
fold a lot more pre-flop.
I run
I'll
so
tell you that.
bad.
Ace mid.
Solver is defending like a machine. All right, what are we gonna do with this queen deuce?
It's a very
Most-
Futurama joke.
Yeah, mostly bet small. I'm pretty sure this is mostly bets. That, yeah. Oh, it does bet bigger.
Well, a bit bigger. It wants to generate that fold equity because this hand really doesn't have any potential past this point.
Bomb your nothing. That's what we're learning here.
Yeah.
In the big blind versus button, you have the king 3, just bomb it.
Yeah. I would love to run these spots. I said I want to run some of these in ruse to see like if you do a single bet strategy, what is it like? What does
So
it
we
come
can
up
s-
with?
What
We can
sizing would you give it? Or does it get to decide that?
Yeah, it decides that for you. It's
Oh.
kind of neat.
The 5 and the 6, which have some hope to connect to the 7 and the 8, want to take the small sizing. And the stuff that has no hope wants to take the large sizing a lot.
That makes a lot of sense.
When you
No,
have
I
no hope,
Hopeless
you have to
bluff.
punch your stack. Ooh. Jack, good for our range. Terrible for our hand. Can we please just give up?
I don't know.
I think you have to go up here. 'Cause
Yeah, probably, right?
Thank goodness.
I was
He's
gonna
got the
say,
money
because
in
we
the
had,
hand, man.
we have to have some other stuff here that has like some hope.
Right.
Oh, look at him give us this disrespectful bet. I mean,
Oh yeah, just fold.
pure fold. Milking us with an ace.
We could also tell him while we're folding, get a job.
So one thing that we have seen here, oh, I threw one in here that's not a raise.
2%.
Alright. Let's get out of here. Okay. One thing that we have seen is the idea of just nudging a little more in the pot with top pair. Right, just keep putting chips in the pot small.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's, yeah, because your SPR is so low, you can just do that with impunity.
Mhm.
This one could be a check raise, maybe. I feel like this board isn't that good for us.
So check jam.
Well, if he bets one, we probably don't jam, but otherwise, I mean, we might still jam it. I'm sure there's some betting here too, right? There's probably some blasting, I would think.
I don't think there's
Maybe not.
blasting, but I do think there's gonna be some half pots for sure.
I
I
like
wouldn't be
bet.
shocked. I
Oh,
wouldn't be
that's what I
shocked if
meant
this is
by,
a half.
I meant the gray.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't be
like
shocked
this.
if this is a half pot.
Check jam.
Oh, it is not a half pot.
Wow,
Just a ring.
just the 3.
The king of
And is it
Oh, you're
because the
gone
king of
again here.
spades makes us more inclined to?
To size down. I guess also he has jack 10 and we don't, right? Jack 10 suited.
Well, we should have some jack 10. We're gonna 3-bet jack 10. Well, he'll have all the jack 10 off.
I think we
Sizing
only
up your-
had
Or not all, but he'll have not all, but he'll have some jack 10 off that we don't
a
have.
little jack 10 off, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think we only had the 9-8 suited and the,
No, I think we should
Oh.
be 3-betting jack 10 suited a little bit. Jack 10 solvers love 3-betting jack 10 suited from the big blind.
Yeah, you can see that when we have the spade, it's small, and when we don't have the spade, it's big.
Okay, that makes sense too. Gotta think through that a little bit. I would probably just blindly bet half here for protection.
Oh, come on, man. Alright. Well, we have kings on a queen paired board, flush draws, straight draws.
I think it's
Ooh.
4 now.
I don't think it changes anything. I think it makes it less likely there's a queen in his hand.
We wanna milk him.
Milk him for 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Milk him it is.
Oh, it's like we lost Peter again.
Sad.
Wrong.
Oh,
That is very strange. Ooh. Here's an interesting one. Do you guys call this off?
oh,
No.
Against the solver, yeah.
All was a call.
Wow.
Because the solver's jam range is gonna be just almost always just ace-X.
Huh.
Now in practice. I don't know. Probably. Good, I mean, it's
Chippy
really nice.
V, flick it in.
Yeah, but against
On
against the
occasion.
real human who's gonna probably be jamming tens full and jacks in full, queens in
Hmm.
full, nines in full. It gets a lot dicier.
I mean, 19 bigs is still a good stack to play, you know.
Yep.
I'm not in a hurry with 4s there, but
Yeah, so our opponent should be jamming some offsuit aces, some suited aces, some queen jack and jack 10, and some king, jack, and queen. And these worst pairs. So when we have like fours or fives, we are doing very well against this range as a whole. So,
And the wheel, suited wheel, aces. I don't know if you said that, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, in practice. Closer.
Yeah,
sure.
because you're gonna see like players off these 18 to 20 big blind stacks jamming a lot of these middle pairs that just dominate you. They're not gonna have the discipline to, well, the discipline or whatever, to like, somebody has sevens here, they're gonna be more likely to jam it in a live tournament than they are to like min raise.
Yeah, in a live tournament, it is dicey.
Yes.
You do see the offsuit ace X stuff coming in there, though.
Yeah. Looks like we have lost Peter. For good. Hi, Peter.
Bye, Peter.
Who wants to drive? Who wants to drive next?
It's still recording.
I don't know. I have I have GTO Wizard.
We'd have to set it up.
Yeah, it'll probably take me too long.
Well,
We completely lost him.
I'll start working on it in case he doesn't come back.
Okay. I will too. Whoever wins.
Yeah. I'm sure he's gonna come back.
I'm back.
The internet connection finally got him.
Yeah, he had problems tonight.
Blind Pete. Yeah. You guys all play mainly online? You guys play live?
I play almost exclusively live.
Yeah.
I probably play like 5 hours a week online. And it's just usually to get reps for live.
Going to the series?
Was that?
Are you going to the WSOP?
Yes, I am.
Same.
I've got I'm gonna be playing 2.5 weeks, $600 deep stack through the main event through Lucky Sevens.
You said you play mainly live. Where do you play?
I live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, so I play a lot at there's a card room like 20 minutes from me, but I also play a lot of the MSPTs within like about a 4 to 6 hour drive. So there's a lot of them in like Minneapolis and in Iowa and stuff like that. In Minnesota and Iowa and places like that. Not bad, like, 100K up top for a lot of them, so.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, guys, how was it going?
Oh, who is here? Peter.
What's up?
Welcome back to this disastrous study session. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on with our internet here in Winnipeg. We're in the middle of, I guess, a pretty calm season, but for the last 2 days, we've had some trouble here. Okay, where were we? Oh, yeah, we were looking at some jam ranges there. So yeah, as I said, we have lots of our videos here. So if you are new, we have some range construction basics, range interaction, short stack play 20 big blinds, 100 big blinds, and now we're working on our 3 betting series, all at slippery_rock99 on YouTube. And where you found the link to this video and this study session, you could always reach out to me in Discord as well. We'll do 1 or 2 more before we wrap up for tonight. Find out the results of this, and we schemaz them. Very nice. 40 bigs, let's go. 10, 6. Let's go. Are we ever going to get an opponent who folds tonight? Not really. Wow.
Oh,
We have a
baby.
conundrum. We have bluffed and made the nuts.
More or less.
How often that happens?
We have the
Just-
10 of spades. I actually think we check this pretty fair
It's pure,
amount.
it's check for me. Yeah.
Check seems great.
We were able to get 13 big blinds in on the turn and river if we want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet the small.
not afraid of anything.
A tiny bit of micro
Yeah,
nudging
that's
chips
a
into the pot.
micro. I would do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one the other week where I raised I 3-bet an ace 8. And I was playing on GG, so there were a few people watching my table and they were like, "Oh, Pete, what are you 3-betting from the big blind?" The flop came 8-8 banana. And that guy had flatted with pocket tens, and so every so now and then you get this type of gift.
Yeah.
Oh wow, life is
Now that
Thank you,
seems
sir.
realistic.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
Great
exactly like my
wash.
human opponents. Ace
Inspector.
seven, I'm all in.
Do we get a
Great
hand hit
flush.
high hand bonus with the hour for this?
Yeah.
after
Both
all
cards have to-
the.
Both
great
cards have to
flush.
play.
Bro, did you see my posts in general today? I folded 2 royals.
Savage. Ooh. Oh.
Oh,
I didn't think we would want to call with this, but I guess we're ahead of the wheels and we're flipping with the under pairs. Pretty gross.
Not in the game.
Yeah.
It's probably I cannot imagine that's any better than like a 0.1 like
Yeah,
call.
I got to admit I'm ace 9 here. Myself.
pocket deuce.
I'm
I
not
am-
gonna find quite this.
I am ace 10.
Okay. Wow. Ace 10's a little snug because ace 9 and ace 8 print's pretty good here. But yeah, gotta find some more calls down the line here a little bit, this spot. Okay, so let's get another good one before we wrap up for tonight. Oh,
Mix
there
and
we go.
range.
Now we can fold. This is Queen 3. All right, we've seen this one 3-bet before. You get a deliciously disastrous spot. Queen 3. All right. So we are here with better queens, with Queen 4 and Queen 5, which are going to have some better straight interaction. Because they're going to interact kind of with both sides of the straight. So I think this is going to be more of the one and done type of thing.
We do have the
I
queen
can
of
see it going
spades
either
though.
way.
Yeah, we do have the queen of spades, which I think lets us bet a little bit
Smaller?
smaller.
Okay.
I think 2.9 seems right because we have the queen of spades. Yeah.
Exactly. Very strong read on that, Jamie.
I agree, though. The queen 5 feels nicer as a small bet, right?
I think queen 5 might like just pure small bet.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think some of these other queen 3, queen 4 type hands might want to like have a spade in our hand.
Yeah, with the queen of spades, it's always small betting. When you don't have the queen of spades, it sizes up. When you have the 3 of spades, it sizes down. Even the 3 of spades is good enough to make us size down versus sizing up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, all driven by the flush draw equity of the queen or the 3 of spades here.
Yep.
So very good pickup on the heuristic. All right, when we bet this size, Our opponent folds. Seems like the first time our opponent's folded today. Here we go.
Come on, give us something fun.
It's a game. Love it.
There's fun.
Jack deuce.
25%.
Live, anyone going 50?
Mm,
No takers.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. With I think we would go 50 without king of spades.
Without the king of spades. Oh, maybe that's the heuristic. Sizing up without the spade, sizing down with the spade.
Yep.
Okay.
Would we even prefer 50 with like aces where, maybe not. Aces probably just go small. I was gonna say where we like unblock some straight draw stuff, but
Yeah, no, that actually makes sense. I actually would. I just wonder if aces just always go small in general.
half and
Aces
half.
are pretty half and half.
Kings are pretty half and half too, actually.
A
And
l-
but it does look like the heuristic is. It's not the king, it looks like it's the, is it the heart? Maybe? It's like the king of spades, king of hearts.
It's
The
when
heart
you have
goes
the
big.
heart, it sizes up,
Yeah,
right? And when you don't have the heart, it sizes down. Which is a little strange to me. And like you can see the spade combo is like it still likes to bet a little more with the king of spades and hearts. A weird minutia.
yeah.
Aces are kind of indifferent. And then yeah,
Again, this is a spot where I'd probably be betting a third a lot, just autopiloting. Which
all
maybe
of
is,
our queens want to bet big,
yeah.
and all of our jacks want to bet small. Okay. Brickiest of bricks. I mean, is there anything to do but pile it in?
Jam it. I agree.
Gemeroni.
Easy game. Pocket sevens, disrespectful.
Non-believer.
Non-believer on queen, jack, deuce in a 3-bet pot. How out of
I'd-
line does are?
I wonder what the worst hand he calls with there is.
Let's take a quick peek.
Well,
before we wrap
sevens
up.
are better than like tens or
Sevens?
nines.
Yeah.
Sevens and they don't interact with any of our straight draw bluff stuff. Although we don't really have, what do we have? I don't know, even remember what.
We have,
Nice.
we have
Connect
king
five.
10, we have 10-9.
Oh,
Well,
Looks like he calls with some fours. And I guess this is just a function of just like it's 9 into a pot that's like. How little equity he needs to be good here. It's probably
just shows-
75% of his range.
he just shows up with a pair and puts it in.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't have any twos, but his fours are gonna like just call off here.
Yeah, like ace four is just happy to get it in from, like it's printing 4 chips. Like our range has to have so much bluff here.
Yeah, we bluffed 10-9 in full, we bluffed 9-8 in full, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Ace 10, like some ace 10. We're probably like some ace highs.
Yeah, we're bluffing all ace highs here. Ace king, ace 10, ace 8, ace 7, ace 6, ace 5. So I guess he's ahead of those. He's ahead of this stuff in here. And then he has some suck out equity against a queen or a jack, but like I don't think you like you just have a lot of queens and jacks here.
can you imagine the guy calls it off with nines and you just show him the jack 3? Like, sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Jack three bet. So, yeah, if people
Casper's
show up
definitely
with
putting that one on Twitter.
yeah, people show up with some strange stuff that they're three betting. Maybe they are a studied opponent, so be careful.
Yeah, I've started to like pick up on that. Like when we play at ACR players from other certain regions that show up with weird hit 3-bet hands, like I immediately tag them. Like if I see somebody 3-betting king six off, I'm like, okay, yeah, that guy's either using a solver in real time or is studied or the other.
So yeah, finding those unintuitive bluffs
Yep.
are really ways to put a lot of value into your hands, because
Yeah.
players just don't 3-bet wide enough out of the big blind. And I got to be honest, until I study, until I work on a spot, I probably don't either.
Yeah.
So,
But I
thanks
don't
for
play a lot.
everyone checking this session out. We're going to wrap up for today, but we will be back next week, Monday, 8:30 time. If you're watching this on YouTube, lots of other video content for you guys to check out. Deep stack play, short stack play, Poker Tracker 4 pre-flop hand analysis with our friend Galen. So lots of good hours of content there. Thanks to Jonathan Little for putting this up on Poker Coaching on the Discord site in their study section. And we'll see you next week.
Right.